Top of the bed, everybody. All right. Trying to get happy, Top of the day, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How many of y'all on Facebook saw me come in by mistake yesterday? Then I realized after about 15 seconds to be alive, I wasn't supposed to be live yesterday. Then I said bye. Wake up and forget what day it is. Some of the days just kind of run together, y'all. But anyway, we here today. Happy Tuesday. Today is the last day of the month of August, people. We about to start September. The fall feasts are coming up. We're starting to prepare for them. Quick note. If you are using the World's Last Chance app, they have a typo that we realize, and I'm not sure if they're going to update it. I found a typo last fall feast, not last fall feast, but during the spring feast, the days was off a little bit, and I sent them a message. I never got a response. I'm not sure if it's an unmanned email or whatever. But the last time I checked, they hadn't updated it, and clearly they haven't updated these fall feasts either, because the day that they have tabernacles and trumpets and atonement starting, it's off. It's way off. Matter of fact, when they show it, they actually show it to be happening starting this first week of September next week. But yeah, it's not, right? The days are off a little bit. So just in case you're using it and you're wondering about it, it is off a little bit. So I just wanted to alert you of that, just in case you were wondering. So remember, we got to watch. We learned this earlier in the year. Lisa, shalom, LaFine, blessings, Uncle Nathaniel, Facebook greetings. We learned this earlier. Relying on technology, remember, technology is only as good as those who input it, right? So we see operator or human error, right? That's why we are to watch, because the technology is gonna put out what you put in, right? And somebody miscalculated, because clearly we know that it's not going to be tabernacles next week, just simply based on the phase that the moon is in right now, right? So okay, I want to mention that just in case you were wondering. I did have a couple people actually ask about it. So but yeah, it's off for a couple days, so we watch, right? All right, y'all. But anyway, it is August 31st, 2021, Tuesday. It is day 247 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, and of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 916. Today we are reading Hosea 7, 8, and 9. Then we're finishing up the little booklet, The True Authorship of the New Testament. And then we are going to read a couple pages of this next book that we're going to dive into, that's going to give even more details about this Messiah that was invented by Rome, right? I mentioned before, it's called Caesar's Messiah, right? So they have done a lot of research, and once you start pulling on that string, the sweater begins to unravel, right? So it's not just this person in the 70s that was doing videos and trying to tell you about this and wrote this pamphlet and giving you all these resources, giving you the background of Josephus and his literary works and all the famous writers in his family that help him put these literary works, also known as the Gospels, together, right? And how they actually created the Gospels, and then why they actually sound so familiar to some of the actual Hebrew text is because they took the Hebrew text and they created stories around them. They inserted fables and all kinds of things, right? Because the whole purpose of doing that was to subdue the Hebrews, right? All right. We're going to get more into that as we pick this up. You can order this from Amazon. I got mine from Amazon. I'm not sure that there's a PDF copy of this, right? This is 412 pages. So we will be reading this for the next couple months, just like we was reading. Actually, this is a little less than Legends of the Jews. Legends of the Jews, I think it was like 538 pages, and that was 4 volumes. We read it in probably about 4 months. So this probably take about 2-3 months to get through, right? So if you want a copy, go get you a copy from Amazon. I'll leave the link. I think I put the link in there in the last video we did as well. And you know what's crazy? Listen, remember Hurricane Flo? Listen, I had a dream doing Hurricane Florence a couple years ago. And remember y'all probably remember the story. We fled for our safety from out of Virginia, right? And come to find out, now drop of water hit Virginia. We done went all the way to PA, hanging out there for a few days, all the way to Pennsylvania. And they overhyped the hurricane that was supposed to be coming here. But I look at it like this. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? And we got too many little small kids, too many small pieces just to kind of wait it out to see what happened. Like the people in Florida, these people down here in Nags Head and stuff, the ones that's like, we're going to ride out the storm and get their houses washed away and all their belongings every single time. This is how they was hyping it up a couple years ago for Virginia. Like, we literally pulled all our resources together. We called family, what y'all doing? We're going to meet up here. All right, everybody, we rolling out. And there was a gang of us. When I say it was like 30 of us rolling down the expressway in our SUVs getting out of here because we didn't know what was about to happen. What we thought was going to happen didn't happen based on how they was hyping it up here in Virginia, closing everything down, putting out sandbags. I was like, we've been here for a minute, but they ain't never really hyped up a storm like this. They said the worst, this was going to be like one of the worst storms that happened like back in the 80s. And I'm like, yeah, we ain't staying here for this. Grabbed all our important documents and stuff, got all that stuff out to save, everybody, okay, look, and for some family didn't go, some family that was here, look, listen, if you need it, we got extra stuff here, you go here to get this, and if it's a little bit later, y'all know where we going, meet us up this way, if you change your mind last month, but we was rolling, right? Anyway, we get up there, ain't now drop of rain hit this place. So, but anyway, I told you all that when we were there, I actually had a dream. And in my dream, I saw this statue. And it was like it was up in the air and I saw it and it was just there. And I couldn't understand for a couple years. I couldn't understand what it was until I start pulling the string on this Messiah, right? Shalom, Yarel. Shayla, hey, listen. Once I started pulling the string on this, shortly thereafter, somebody mentioned this. And when I actually went looking into this and I seen the cover of this, it triggered a dream that I had a couple years ago in the same face that I saw in the sky. I'm like, holy crap. That's the face I saw in my dream, which of course, I got the book. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But anyway, we're going to start reading this too, which gives way more detail about the true authorship of the New Testament. And he just, that booklet is really, really thin. And we're going to finish it today. And probably once we start reading, it's probably only going to take us maybe 10 minutes to finish, if 10 minutes. Then we're going to start in here. And he gives way more details and references and everything, right? About Caesar's Messiah, the conspiracy to invent Jesus, right? Gonna get into why they did it, why they were really trying to subdue the Hebrews, those who really followed Yah, because they realized there was no way you were going to get these people to bow, and they were a threat to the world. The Hebrews were a threat to the world because of the power of the one whom they truly worshiped, right? And nothing else would work to subdue them. They kept multiplying when they realized even heathen nations was repenting, turning to Yah when they saw the power that Yahuwah had, right? And they forbid everybody. It wasn't the name of Jesus that they were forbidding people to speak and all these things. It was Yah, right? So they had to do something to squelch the people and try and put an end to this. And the only thing that they could find was their laws. And so they infiltrated their laws and their statutes and all these things. And by them doing this, began to cause the people to sin against themselves and to sin against Yah, whereby the power began to diminish, right? Okay, so we're going to get into that. Like I said the other day when we first started reading not the power of the New Testament, the true authorship of the New Testament, we might lose some people. Some people not ready for it, and because they're still clinging on to things that's not true, right? Now there is some truth, but what we're doing, we're separating the truth from error, right? We got to break it all down. Y'all got to see all the shenanigans that was done, so you can absolutely know beyond a shadow of a doubt that some of these things are absolute lies, and you can put them away, and you can turn to Yah, and you will begin to see the progression of your life and how it builds, and even little small things and power that begin to follow your life. I wouldn't be reading to y'all if I wasn't practicing this in my life. There is nothing nobody can say to me today about any of this, because I live it, I practice it, I test everything, right? So, okay, if you stay, you stay. May Yah bless you. If you go, may you still run into the truth wherever you run to, right? All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and do the Shema, which is found. Hey guys, calm down a little bit. It's found in Deuteronomy chapter 6, starting at verse 3. Remember, read the whole chapter. Y'all just kind of summed up the meat and potatoes for you. Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as Yahuwah, the mighty one of our fathers, has promised us, in a land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah, our mighty one, he is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your mighty one, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates. And Yahuwah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahuwah, our mighty one, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do these commandments before Yahuwah, our mighty one, as he has commanded us. All right. Hosea 7, let's get into it. Israel's love for wickedness. Oh, thing just disappeared. Okay. There we go. Okay. Israel's love for wickedness. I want to heal Israel, but its sins are too great. Samaria is filled with liars. Thieves are on the inside, and bandits are on the outside. Bella, chill. Its people don't realize that I am watching them. Their sinful deeds are all around them, and I see them all. The people entertain the king with their wickedness, and the princes laugh at their lies. Bella, she got her headphones on. Turn it down, Pooh.
I'm still on the computer.
I know. Turn your voice down. Turn your voice down. You're too loud. She got headphones on and she talking extra loud. Okay, you good. Just try not to scream.
I've not turned it down yet.
The people entertain the king with their wickedness, and the princes laugh at their lies. They are all adulterers, always aflame with lust. They are like an oven that is kept hot while the baker is kneading the dough. On royal holidays, the princes get drunk with wine, carousing with those who mock them. Their hearts are like an oven, blazing with intrigue. Their plot smolders through the night, and in the morning it breaks out like a raging fire. Burning like an oven, they consume their leaders. They kill their kings one after another, and no one cries to me for help. The people of Israel mingle with godless foreigners, making themselves as worthless as a half-baked cake. Worshipping foreign gods has sapped their strength, but they don't even know it. Their hair is gray, but they don't realize they're old and weak. Their arrogance testifies against them, yet they do not return to Yahuwah their God or even try to find him. The people of Israel have become like silly, witless doves, first calling to Egypt, then flying to Assyria for help. But as they fly about, I will throw my net over them and will bring them down like a bird from the sky. I will punish them for all the evil they do. What sorrow awaits those who have deserted me? Let them die, for they have rebelled against me. I want to redeem them, but they have told lies about me. They do not cry out to me with sincere hearts. Instead, they sit on their couches and wail. They cut themselves, begging foreign gods for grain and new wine, and they turn away from me. I trained them and made them strong, yet now they plot evil against me. They look everywhere except to the Most High. They are as useless as a crooked bow. Their leaders will be killed by their enemies because of their insolence towards me. Then the people of Egypt will laugh at them. Next chapter, Hosea chapter 8. Christy, shalom. Israel harvests the whirlwind. Sound the alarm. The enemy descends like an eagle on the people of Yahuwah, for they have broken my covenant and revolted against my law. Now Israel pleads with me, help us, for you are our God. But it's too late. The people of Israel have rejected what is good, and now their enemies will chase after them. The people have appointed kings without my consent and princes without my approval. By making idols for themselves from their silver and gold, they have brought about their own destruction. O Samaria, I reject this calf, this idol you have made. My fury burns against you. How long will you be incapable of innocence? This calf you worship, O Israel, was crafted by your own hands. It is not God. Therefore, it must be smashed to pieces. They have planted the wind and will harvest the whirlwind. The stalks of grain wither and produce nothing to eat. Bella! And even if there is any grain, foreigners will eat it. The people of Israel have been swallowed up. They lie among the nations like an old discarded pot, like a wild donkey looking for a mate. They have gone up to Assyria. The people of Israel have sold themselves to many lovers. But though they have sold themselves to many allies, I will now gather them together for judgment. Then they will writhe under the burden of the great king. Israel has built many altars to take away sin, but these very altars became places for sinning. Even though I gave them all my laws, they act as if those laws don't apply to them. The people love to offer sacrifices to me, feasting on meat, but I do not accept their sacrifices. I will hold my people accountable for their sins, and I will punish them. They will return to Egypt. Israel has forgotten its maker and built great palaces, and Judah has fortified its cities. Therefore, I will send down fire on their cities and will burn up their fortresses. Last chapter for today, y'all. Hosea chapter 9. Mom, shalom. Lindsay, yeah. Shalom. Hosea announces Israel's punishment. O people of Israel, do not rejoice as other nations do, for you have been unfaithful to your God, hiring yourselves out like prostitutes, worshiping other gods on every threshing floor. So now your harvest will be too small to feed you. There will be no grapes for making new wine. You may no longer stay here in Yahuwah's land. Instead, you will return to Egypt, and in Assyria, you will eat food that is ceremonially unclean. There, you will make no offerings of wine to Yahuwah. None of your sacrifices there will please him. They will be unclean, like food touched by a person in mourning. All who present such sacrifices will be defiled. They may eat this food themselves, but they may not offer it to me. What then will you do on festival days? How will you observe Yahuwah's festivals? Girl! She can't even hear me. What then will you do on festival days? How will you observe Yahuwah's festivals? Even if you escape the destruction from Assyria, Egypt will conquer you, and Memphis will bury you. Nettles will take over your treasures of silver. Thistles will invade your ruined homes. The time of Israel's punishment has come. The day of payment is here. Soon Israel will know this all too well. Because of your great sin and hostility, you say, the prophets are crazy, and the inspired men are fools. The prophet is a watchman over Israel for my God, yet traps are laid for him wherever he goes. He faces... Bella! Stop the yelling.
I cannot.
Yes, you can.
Huh?
Yes, you can. You don't need to scream that loud. He is sitting right beside you. Your headphones are too loud. That's why you think you need to scream. Turn them down.
I cannot.
Isaiah, tap him on his shoulder. Get his attention. Isaiah, he got his headphones on too.
Yeah.
Help her turn that down a little bit, please. Girl, because I can hear your headphones in here. That is way too loud for your ears. Isaiah. Isaiah. Can you hear me? Maybe that's his headphones. Help her turn her headphones down.
Isaiah.
The prophet is a watchman over Israel for my God, yet traps are laid for him wherever he goes. He faces hostility even in the house of Yahuwah. The things my people do are as depraved as what they did in Gibeah long ago. Yahuwah will not forget. He will surely punish them for their sins. Yahuwah says, O Israel, when I first found you, it was like finding fresh grapes in the desert. When I saw your ancestors, it was like seeing the first ripe figs of the season. But then they deserted me for Baal Peor, giving themselves to that shameful idol. Soon they became vile as the God they worship. The glory of Israel will fly away like a bird, for your children will not be born or grow in the womb or even be conceived. Even if you do have children who grow up, I will take them from you. It will be a terrible day when I turn away and leave you alone. Oh my gosh. Whew. Even if you do have children who grow up, I will take them away from you. It will be a terrible day when I turn away and leave you alone. I have watched Israel become as beautiful as Tyre, but now Israel will bring out her children for slaughter. O Yahuwah, what should I request for your people? I will ask for wombs that don't give birth and breasts that give no milk. Yahuwah says, all their wickedness began at Gilgal. There I began to hate them. I will drive them from my land because of their evil actions. I will love them no more because all their leaders are rebels. The people of Israel are struck down. Their roots are dried up and they will bear no more fruit. And if they give birth, I will slaughter their beloved children. My God will reject the people of Israel because they will not listen or obey. They will be wanderers, homeless among the nations. We know what people that is, huh? We are too well acquainted with them, aren't we? Aren't we? Okay, y'all. So that is our reading for today. That was Hosea 7, 8, and 9. And let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, maybe I should read that part too. There's a part, let's see. Okay, I need to open it up from here. Okay, y'all. So where did we stop? All right, we pause under the numerical code systems. Okay. Let's find my place. Who is this? What page is this? We stopped at 27. And I noticed something, y'all. There are pages missing from this. Well, the numbering is wrong. Maybe I'm looking at the numbering wrong. Okay, we read this. Piso, Antonius. We stopped right here. Number 2. No? Hold on. Because I kept going. I was going over this yesterday. Oh, no, that was right. That was right. Okay, because it ends there. Okay. Right here, the Jews reject the story. And what I realized, y'all, the rest of this is actually mostly the footnotes and the references. But I'm going to read through it, right? So if y'all got it, or if you don't have it, I'll share it again today, right? Okay, so this section 2, the Jews reject the story, is given 3 footnotes where he pulled the information from. The first one is Flavius Josephus and the Jewish War, volume 7, page 252. The second one is Ibid, volumes, 7, page 400. Then Ibid 2, page 447. Volume 7, page 275. Then page 397. Then it goes to the next section. The numerical system. Hold on. Where's 3? This is going. Hold on, y'all. This is going like. Okay. I was trying to see if the page was zigzagging, but it's not. But the Roman numerals, it goes from 2 to 4. Like it's missing 3. I'm thinking it might be typos, y'all. I don't know. I'm going to just read through it. Okay, the next section, the numerical code system, where they pull a lot of the stuff from. The first reference, y'all may be familiar with this name, Manly P. Hall. You will find him a lot in like the occultic information and stuff, right? Because if you go on some of the occultic information, you will find a lot of truths that they hide over there as well, right? Okay, so the book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, is an encyclopedia outline of Masonic, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Rosicrucian symbol philosophy, 20th edition, Philosophical Research Society, Incorporated, Los Angeles, California, 1975. And it gives the page number LXVFF. The second one is IBID, page LXIXFF. The third one, the spelling Piso was the family name in Latin. In Greek, it was Pison, whose letters totaled 29 in small numbering. And frequently, Piso used 70 in Matthew chapter 18, verse 22, and Luke chapter 10, verses 1 and 17, which was a total of 41 and 29 to allude to himself, but rarely did he use 29 alone. So remember, we learned from the last day we was reading this, how Piso secretly encoded himself and his family into the New Testament writings, and a lot of the 4 Gospels as well. And he's showing you the numerology on how he put himself in there, and the different numbers that they call out and different things, and the ages of people, how all of this stuff leads back to Josephus and his family, which was known to a lot of them, which is why they rejected it at first, but they kept pushing it, and they kept pushing it, they kept pushing it, right? They didn't let up on it, which we can clearly see they were successful with what they did, but they was rejecting all of this back then. Nobody's this Jesus and stuff, absolutely not. This is garbage. This is heresy. We alive. We know this stuff didn't happen. Look. Okay. For usually he and his family thought in terms of the Latin spelling Piso, but with the Greek numerical equivalents whose letters totaled 19. Okay, going to the other side of the page. It should be noted, however, that Psalms 29 was chosen for singing each Sabbath at conclusion of Torah reading. 4. An answer to Piso's secret use of 41 was it 41.16, appears in the Erev Yom Kippur hymn Yah Aleh, YA''ALEH. In it, the 3 words in the first column were inserted because they totaled 41, and the 4 words in the third column were chosen because they totaled 46. Number 5. Philo of Alexandria and the Septuagint had for Moses' sister also used the Greek spelling Miriam, assuming the spelling in Philo had not been changed from Miriam by Piso or his successors, but area with an M added on each end. But area with an M added on each end did aptly fit as the name of Piso's fictional wife. Number 6 is the Jewish War, the 3rd volume, page 316 and page 406. Number 7, see Dio Cassius, LXIX.17, and in parentheses is 1, which is volume 8, page 455. Number 8, in which he also mocks Judaism because 13 and 18 were 2 of the main numbers of the Jewish religion. Hey guys, calm down. A Jewish response was to commence the singing of Psalms 113 through 118 on holidays. Number 9, John Michael, City of Revelation, Ballantine Books, New York, 1972, page 163. Number 10, Augusta Historia, Scriptores Historia Augusta, Life of Hadrian, volume XV, page 8. Number 11, C. D. Cassius, LXIX.17, parentheses 1, volume 8, page 455. Okay, the next section is sounds, animals, and illusions. Bella! Guys, I'm sorry for the loudness. Josephus had inserted in his Jewish war a tower he called a Afekou, Afekou, where he said Jews assembled only to flee on the advance of Sistius Gallius. What is this? 2 in the parentheses beside his name is 11.513. Right? Okay. The same sound of Afekou in Aramaic meant you shall cast out, and adding min, M-I-N, to it happened to produce the same sound as the Greek afikomen, a form of afineomai, Afikeneomai, which meant to arrive at, or to come to, or to reach. And I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I gotta turn this down myself. Listen, y'all are too loud. Bella, if you be doing that screaming, you may not need to be preaching it. No, don't touch one of them. She's trying to get over into the house, boy. So bring it over here.
This is not my house.
Sorry, y'all. Okay.
Apart from what? Listen.
Adding min, M-I-N, to it happened to produce the same sound as the Greek afikomen, a form of afikenomai, which meant to arrive at, come to, or to reach. Another form appears as afikito in Romans 16 and 19 with the meaning came or has come abroad. Okay, the next section, the family in the New Testament, is 13 references, and he lists them all. Okay, so the first one is Act 1, Scene 1, 68. I don't know what it doesn't have, unless it's talking about, I don't know, y'all. It just has a bunch of numbers here for these next few. It has Roman number 2. For number 2 is Roman number 2.7. Number 3 is SS 5 and 427. Number 4 is S 336. Number 5 is S 340. Number 6 is S 36. Number 7 is S 186. Number 8 is SS 177 through 178. Number 9 is SS 271 and 294. Number 10 is Anti-Nicene Fathers, W.M.B. Ehrman's Publishing Company, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1973, Volume 1, Chapter 117, page 258. Number 11 is Tacitus, Dialogus de Oratoribus. That's Latin. Volume 1 of Tacitus, page 231. Number 12, Plutarch's Lives, Romulus, Modern Library, Random House, New York, page 25. Number 13, Virgil, Aeneid, Volume 2, page 694. Okay, so all the stuff that we learned the first day is given all of the references where you can go pull all this stuff from. Okay, the next section, the creation of the church. According to Dio Cassius, and it's given the volume the chapter. No, it could be the volume. I don't know. Chapter LXVII.17, pages 1 and 2. The assassination was supervised by Parthenius. That name contains the letters Pius, Pius, which was one of the names used to describe the Pisos. Parthenius used Maximus, which was Pliny's suatum. So they took on, as they wrote different literature, they took on different alter egos, or they were different characters, right? So y'all ever seen like Coming to America and Eddie Murphy play all these different people? It's the same thing. They wrote the script, and all these different characters that they created were playing these characters themselves. So when they said this was Pliny's suatum, Maximus was one of his characters that he played throughout these literary works. Okay, Parthenius used Maximus, which was Pliny's suatum, and Stephanus as assassins. Also, Apollonius of Tyana, the fictional Piso / Jesus, mounted a rock at Ephesus and urged on Stephanus. You can find that in Ibid, chapter 18, pages 1 through 2. Hey, guys, calm down. And Domitian had lived 44 years, 10 months, and 26 days, and reigned 15 years and 5 days. The numbers total 100 KP. The next number is Supra, Supra, right? Okay, the next page, it gives reference, what's this? 12, Plutarch's, hold on. I think this is just, no, it's a repeating. Hold on, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a continuation. The third one, what's crazy is this is where the page numbers they switch, and it's a missing page number from the page we just read, but the page before that was page 7. Then it's this unnumbered page, which clearly is page 26. Then it goes to page 27. And it starts with the creation of the church again, so it's just kind of repeating this, but all the rest of it is added to it. So after Supra, for number 2, you got number 3. She appears as our sister Phoebe in Romans chapter 16, verse 1, as Claudia in 2 Timothy in 4:21, and as Claudius Ephebus in 1 Clement LXV.1. He appears as Pundens in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 21, the same verse as his wife, and as Fronto in Ignatius' epistle to the Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1. Their marriage, she as Claudia Rufina and he as Pudens, is praised by Valerius Martial. And in parentheses it has IV, what is that? Page, volume 4, page 13, or chapter 4, page 13. Emperor Trajan's public name was Marcus. Josh, can you help them keep their voices down, please? They are way too loud. Thank you. Hold on. Go back up here. Their marriage, she as Claudia Rufina and he as Pudens, is praised by Valerius Martial. Emperor Trajan's public name was Marcus Ulpius Nerva Trajan, and in parentheses it has Cassius LXVIII 3 in parentheses 4. Rearranging the letters of Ulpius produced one of his fictional names, Lupus. Number 4. The biographical index at the end of Pliny's letters is very helpful in interrelating and hence deciphering the various names and identities. These are published in the Loeb Classical Library series in volume 1 of 2-volume set entitled Apostolic Fathers, right? Okay, so if you don't know about all these references on how the Gospels and the New Testament was put together, you would never know, right? But he's giving you, and it sounds like a bunch of blah, 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 bunch of letters and numbering and stuff, but it's giving all the references where you can pull all this stuff together and you can see how they put it together. Even like you said, the reference charts to the names and how they deciphered the names and stuff, right? But this wasn't widely circulated amongst everybody. It was only for they called it the inner circle, which we read at the introduction of this. So the inner circle wouldn't get tripped up and fall into this trap that they were setting for the Hebrews, and now the entire world, right, has fallen into it. Okay. These are published in the Loeb Classical Library series in volume 1 of a 2-volume set entitled Apostolic Fathers. Okay. So it's giving a list of them. Number 6, Pliny, X 58.5. Number 7 is IBID X.58.6. Number 8 is IBID X.58.10. Number 9 is IBID 6.31.3. 10 is IBID 10.58.6. Number 11 is IBID 10.58.5. Number 12 is IBID 10.60. 13. Did I say that right? 10. The last 3 I read was 10, 11, and 12. 13. Dio Chrysostom, 51st Discourse, Volume 4, page 327. Number 14. IBID 21st Discourse, Volume 2, page 283. Number 15. Pliny, what is it? 3rd, 21.2-3. Number 16. Plutarch's Moralia, Volume 8, was it 5, 6, 7, 8, Table Talk 10, page 673. Number 17, Philo, The Embassy to Gaius, Volume 10, page 299 to page 305. Number 18, Tacitus, The Annals, in XV.44. 19, Suetonius, Nero, 16.2. Number 20, IBID Claudius, 24.4. 21, Address of Tatian to the Greeks, the Anti-Nicene Fathers, WMB Erdman's Publishing Company, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1975, Chapter 32, Volume 2, page 78. Okay, the next section, how to find Josephus as the author. So the previous day we read about this and he gave the details. So here are the references for that. Number 1 is Vita SS5, 426 to 427. Number 2, The Jewish War, Volume 1, page 54. Number 3, Vita SS 96 and 240. Number 4, IBID S 397. Number 5, IBID S 5. Number 6, Gospel of John was written by Fabius Justus. Number 7, Pliny 10.96. Number 8, IBID 1, 11. IBID was at 1.11, then 7.2. Yes, baby.
My ears still hurt.
Okay, give me a second, Pooh. Number 9, IBID 4.1.1. Number 10, IBID. Number 11, he appears as various people with the first name Julius.
I can mix some of the water here.
Yes. Number 12, the fictional Simon, who becomes Silas in Acts chapter 15:22, appears in Pliny's letters as Silius Proculus, volume 3, chapter 15, and his son as Senius Silvanus, volume 3, chapter 8. Okay, so let's go back up here. The next section, the proof that Josephus was really Calpurnius Piso, which we read, and here are the references. Stick with me through the references. I know this is just like going through the genealogies. Okay. 1, Jewish War, volume 3, page 342. Page 2. Page 3. Hold on. Jewish War, volume 3, page 342-2. Number 2, IBID 3, page 391. Number 3, IBID 3, page 407 to 408. Number 4, IBID 3, page 272, 278. Number 5, IBID 3.401. Number 6, Vita S 423. Number 7, Jewish War, volume 2, page 499, 562 through 563. Number 8, IBID 2.510. Number 9, IBID 7.59. Number 10, Annals XVI. Notice the charge against Thrasea Paetus in Annals XVI.22. Either let us pass over to his creed if it is the better, or let these seekers after a new world lose their chief and their instigator. Number 11, the Annals XV.59. Notice his wife's name was Sateria Galla. Removing S and T from Satria produces Area. And the wife of Thrasea Paetus was likewise Area. You can find that in the Annals XVI.34. Merely a variant spelling. Arius, area, could be spelled in the Greek style with one R, or in Latin style with two R's. As to the Thrasea Paetus family, see footnote number 3 on the same page. Number 12, Annals XV.50. Number 13, Annals XVI.33. Right, and he's really good. He's giving all of these because you got some people, I just don't believe that. That's why he's giving all these detailed references or where you can find all of this, right? So if you're having a hard time breaking away from the strong delusion, this is going to help you break from your strong delusion so you can see how it was put together, right? It's time for Israel to wake up. Number 10, the inner circle. And he's giving the references on this. It's 13 of them. C.S. Lewis, The Weight of Glory and Other Addresses. And he gives the publishing company, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1977, pages 64 through 65. Number 2, as Al-Subel, Nathan Abusil, The Book of Jewish Knowledge, Crown Publishers, New York, 1964, page 499. Number 3, IBID, page 487. Number 4, Nathan Abusil, Pictorial History of the Jewish People, Crown Publishers, New York, 1955, page 255. Number 5, the Encyclopedia Britannica, the 1968 edition, volume 2, page 84. Number 6, C. Joshua Trachtenberg, The Devil and the Jews. Oh, we're going to read that. There's something, and I think it was a page there. there were a couple different volumes of this authorship of the New Testament that I found. And I thought I had saved the both of them because one of them had a section in there about their creation of Satan. Not that there isn't a malignant entity, right? But the one that they created for the Christians, so to speak. It will blow your mind what they did. And I found that. I was like, where is the book that had all of this in it? That's what I was looking for. That's the one I wanted to share with you. But I found a snippet of it on his website. So after I get done with this, we're going to read that because it was a part of this, which is why I'm like, okay, when I started realizing, wait a minute, this is not the book I wanted to share. It's missing pages. So I'm not sure what happened to the one that had the pages. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I found a portion of it, so I'm gonna read it to you. So stay tuned for that, y'all. Just hold on. We're about to get to it. Okay. Number 6. C. Joshua Trachtenberg, The Devil and the Jews. Harper Torch Books, Harper and Row, New York, 1977. Helpful in creating this image was Jesus' pronouncement to the Jews, "You are of your father the devil," which is found in John chapter 8, verse 44, which if you ever hear people say Jesus was Satan, stuff like that, they may not be explaining it in a way where you will readily understand it, but now I understand exactly what they were saying. They wasn't able to articulate it really well, but they knew something. They had more information on what other people had, and they were privy to they came across this information on how the New Testament was created, right? Because they are gun-ho. They said, do not worship Jesus. Jesus is Satan himself, right? And when we get to it, you'll understand what they mean. If you ever heard anybody say that, you will know exactly what they're talking about, right? I just wish when they were saying it, they would have brought all of these references. Maybe they couldn't find it. I don't know. But now I understand. At first, I'm like, man, y'all tripping, But I just kind of kept it because I figured I might be missing some information. I'm like, okay, let me keep studying. Let me keep searching. And then I might understand what they were talking about later. And now I really do. Yes, baby.
You want some blueberries?
Hold on. Give me a second, bro. Okay.
And some bananas, some strawberries.
You want them in a bowl or you just want a whole smoothie? Okay, give me a second. I'll make it in a minute. Well, I'm almost done. Okay. All right. Number 7. Malcolm Hay, Thy Brother's Blood, Hart Publishing Company, Incorporated, New York, 1975. Pages 3 and 4. Let me see. What time we at? We might actually not get to read any of the Caesar's Messiah if I'm going to read that. Okay. All right. So we might have to start Caesar's Messiah tomorrow so I can read that portion about Satan that was somehow removed from this. Okay. Number 8. Jeffrey Parender, Jesus in the Quran. Oxford University Press, New York, 1977, page 60. Yeah, it talks about some of this too. Because the same ones that have food our brethren in the Christian religion, have food our brethren that are Muslims as well. Because the same ones that wrote the Gospels wrote the Quran too, right? So they get you coming and going every which way where you want to go. We got something for y'all too. Look, listen. I'm gonna keep reading this. Encyclopedia of Islam, E.J. Brill, Leiden, 1908, Volume 1, page 793, Volume 3, page 506 to 507. Number 10, Wallace Budge, Sir E.A. Wallace Budge, Amulets and Superstitions, Dover Publication, Incorporated, New York, 1978, the paperback edition, page 441. Number 11, the New Encyclopedia Britannica, the 15th edition, 1974, Macropedia, Karl Marx, volume 11, page 549. Number 12, Albert Schweitzer, The Quest of the Historical Jesus, Macmillan Publishing Company, Incorporated, New York, 1968, the paperback edition, page 158, et al. Okay, number 13, Homer Smith, Homer W. Smith, Man and His Gods, Grosset Universal Library, Grosset and Dunlap, New York, 1956, page 190. Okay, so the references from The Truth Makes Us Free, and we read that the first day. So here are all the references for all that stuff he revealed about this. You can find this stuff through these references. First references is M.O.L. Fackenheim, The Jewish Return to History, etc. Schrocken Books, New York, 1978. And that was it. Okay, so this is what? This is the last page here. And this right here is quotes from different people. He gives it. I'm going to just read them. Okay. Josephus is the most diligent and greatest lover of truth of all writers. His fidelity and his compass of learning are everywhere conspicuous. Josephus complete, he said that about, look, Josephus complete works. Dissertation 1, page 639. And William Winston was quoting Joseph Scaliger on this right here. 'Tis a lie, said be, like 9/10 of what ye call history. History lies, as I have told ye. The door of unrest, O. Henry or William Sidney Porter. Okay, and some of these are really old quotes, so they speaking in like old English and stuff, right? Okay. Shalom, Matiyahu. Okay. What one man can invent, another can discover. Hold on. What one man can invent, another can discover, said Holmes, The Adventure of the Dancing Man, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. As I said, he was never precisely unkind. The defect in his brain was just absence of mind. And I trust that the mold which be used may be cracked or be made bold by success, may enlarge his phylactery and set up a kind of man manufactory. I like that. A fable for critics. John Russell Lowell. Go, little book, from this my solitude. I cast thee on the waters, go thy ways. And if, as I believe, thy vein be good, the world will find thee after many days. That was Don Juan, and it's this huge Roman numeral CCXX11. Lord Byron, George Gordon. Okay.
These are gummies.
Okay, the next one. Tis
vitamins.
Tis strange but true, for truth is always strange. Stranger than fiction. If it could be told, how much would novels gain by the exchange? How differently the world would men behold, were things but only called by their right name. Caesar himself would be ashamed of fame. Don Juan.
Mom, you didn't give me 3.
14 CI-CII Lord Byron. Okay.
Mom, you got me
It's a few more. Okay. Indeed, there is no lie so gross, but it may be imposed on the book by those whom they esteem their patrons and defenders. A journey from this world to the next. ETC, Chapter XX, Henry Fielding. Mild Titus and Josephus. What? Mild Titus and Josephus without pride. The Fairy Queen, Book 4, Canto X, is a total of 14. Paragraph number XXVII, line 5, which is a total of 14. Edmund Spencer. Christians were near thought upon till Titus and Vespasian conquered us. The Jew of Malta, Act 2, Scene 3, Christopher Marlowe. Shakespeare was of us. Milton was for us. Burns, Shelley were with us. They watched from their graves. The Lost Leader, Robert Browning. Can falsehood kindle or bedim, B-E-D-I-M? Can falsehood kindle or bedim one bay leaf in his quiet crown? 10,000 lies may pluck at him, but only truth can tear him down. The Roman Way, Alfred Noyes. Oh, then, I know this world is fast asleep, bound in time's womb till some far morning break. And though light grows upon the dreadful deep, we are dungeon in thick night, we are not awake. The world's unborn for all our hopes and schemes, and all its myriads only moving dreams. Read what our wisest chroniclers record. A king betrayed both foes and friends to death, delivered his own country to the sword, and lied, and lied, and lied to his last breath. The Ghost of Shakespeare, Alfred Noyes. And it gives this, if you have the book, you will see it gives this signature sign with a P and a X equals KP, or this sign P. Okay, and that's the end of this, y'all. But let me bring in this portion that I know I read before when I had the original one. Somebody took it and scrubbed it, y'all. I'm sure of it, because I know what I read and I can't find it, and it took me a while. Let's see. Okay, so the book we just read, The True Authorship of the New Testament, they actually have a website which is found at vectorpub.com, VECTOR.com. Okay, so here, where is it at? Okay, so here it has the, hold on, let me read this. And then it has the name of Satan, and it has a link, and you click on it. So I'm going to read this. And here it actually, under it, gives you the table of contents of the truth about the true authorship of the New Testament. It kind of lays everything out, the sections 1 through 11. Okay? And you can clearly tell there are, and right here, if you look right here, I'm going to share this link with y'all. If you look right here, it gives a chart of the chapters of the pages, and there are pages missing, right? So I'm gonna write them, because the one I actually ordered, which I can't seem to find in my house, which is why I'm reading it online. It has those sections in there, but it still kind of skips. It gives the references at the end of the book, but it actually skips like the sounds of animals and illusion, the family in the New Testament, the creation of the church. Let me post it here on Facebook, and then I'll post it in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So when you get a chance, click on that. I'm going to give y'all the link here. And I'll remember to post this in the comment section after the video is over as well. So you'll see what I'm talking about if you pull it up. But let me go back to it. So I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to click on the link that says the explanation for the name of Satan, and we're going to read that. I want y'all to listen to this. Okay. So right here, it's telling you, it's showing you the true authorship of the New Testament, right? And we're just going to read this. Publication date, 1979. The True Authorship of the New Testament is the first book that explains the true authorship of the New Testament. It has been advertised and sold in magazines since 1979, and no one has claimed the $1,416.19 challenge that the foundation has offered to anyone who can disprove their thesis that the Calpurnius Pisos of Rome wrote the New Testament. This historically important book was written by an author who was wondering why slick former Jews were getting into the This historically important book was written by an author who was wondering why slick former Jews were getting into the evangelism business and fleecing Christians of their money, all in the name of Jesus. His 35-year research has uncovered the whole horrible truth, namely that Christianity was created by the Calpurnius Pisos of Rome. It is a fictional story used by the Pisos to take over Rome, which they eventually did after 136 CE. They also forced the Jews to insert into their religious books many of Piso's own works to create prophecies for the coming of his fictional character, Jesus. Now remember, listen, somebody asked me yesterday, I'm not sure if she's watching live now, she watches later. Somebody asked me yesterday, yes, baby. Don't call her a midget. Somebody asked me yesterday what I thought about the world events and everything. And y'all hear me say it a lot if you've been here a while. The prophecies are coming to pass, or they seem like they're coming to pass because they wrote them. They control everything. They control the media. They control the movies. All of these things they control. So the prophecies that's playing, yes, baby.
Don't call me a midget.
I know, don't call her a midget. All of these prophecies and everything, they are controlling them, right? It's all one big movie production. I like to call this one big movie production to get the earth and the people moving in a direction that they want them to go. That's what the New World Order is, y'all. That's what the beast system is. They control everything. And you got people that's uncovering all this stuff so you can see, right? At least now we have a choice. So we're going to continue to move with the status quo and with the lies and things that we can clearly tell are lies. They're giving us all the references and the resources, showing us how they put all this together. And we're going to still wait on this non-existent Jesus that they created.
I know the shot right here.
Yeah, she's right there. Are we still going to be waiting on that non-existent person to come that's never going to show up? Like, you would die and go to your grave before that person shows up. Like, that's not the person that's going to show up. He was a created work, right? I may lose some people, okay, but when you realize the truth, you come back. We still gonna be here, right? We love you anyhow. But when you begin to realize this, like, guys, when I started to pull on this sweater, remember how I told you when Yahuwah started revealing this stuff to me, I was sick. Like, I was literally sick for a couple of weeks about this, because I had lived my entire life believing this about this fictional character. And literally, guys, the human body is so amazing, right? The computers were designed off of us. What you put in you will begin to develop in you, right? So if you believe something, and belief is powerful, if you believe something, that's what's real in your life and what's real in your world, and that's what you are going to see. Even if it's a lie. Even if it's a lie, no one will be able to break your estate but you, until you uncover the fact and the truth that what you believe is a lie, and you begin to tear down the idols, and you yourself begin to disassemble the lie so that you can be free. Right, guys? It's crazy. Listen. Okay, so let me go back and finish reading this, because we had an hour and 7 minutes. I really want to finish reading this and read this portion about Satan, guys. Look, so remember how I tell you, remember I say all the time, I said there is shenanigans and leaven in the Old Testament just like it is in the New. And once you begin to find out what that leaven is, you can see how they were preparing you. Like, even with the sacrifices is a great example. The sacrifices is an example of major leaven, right? Something that Yahuwah said, I don't want, don't do it. These build you up and prepare you for the big human sacrifice, which Yahuwah constantly spoke against. It builds you up to receive this human sacrifice that he says is an absolute abomination. Not only that, he said, I would never send a righteous person to die for the sins of the wicked. The wicked will die for their own sins if they don't turn around and begin to do what's right, right? So once you begin to put it together, you begin to extract all the leaven, and you can see the bare bones truth, right? And you can see all of this, and they added all of the leaven all the way through. They infiltrated not just the Christian books, but not only that, they infiltrated Islam and every other place the Pisos have their hands in. Everybody look like a fool around here, right? They have made all of us look like complete idiots, my G, right? Okay, listen. This historically important book was written by an author who was wondering why slick former Jews were getting into the evangelism business and fleecing Christians of their money, all in the name of Jesus. His 35-year research has uncovered the whole horrible truth, namely that Christianity was created by the Copernicus Pisos of Rome. It's a fictional story used by the Pisos to take over Rome, which they eventually did after 136 CE. They also forced the Jews to insert into their religious books many of Piso's own works to create prophecies for the coming of his fictional character, Jesus. Let me keep reading. If you are a priest, pastor, or Muslim, This book, as well as the other works by this author, are a must-read if you are able to get ahead in your respective organizations. All of your top leadership know this information. Why don't you? Of course, after you read all this historical proof, and we will assume you are an honest man, that you can no longer in good conscience be a Christian. If you are curious about Christianity and its true authors, you must read this booklet and give it to your friends. As Piso's story says, the truth shall set you free. Just no one thought it was free from his own story. Calpurnius Pisos of Rome wrote the New Testament and created the church. Since 1979, no one has attempted it, meaning nobody has attempted to try to say that all of this evidence is not true. He up here at the top, he set out a bet, so to speak. He said, listen, I will give anybody who can disprove all of this. He said, I'm laying out everything I come across. He said, I will give you $1,416.19 to challenge all of this information to prove. He said nobody since 1979 has taken that challenge after they going through and read all this. Listen. So since 1979, no one has attempted it. After you read it, you will realize why. There is just too much proof of the Pisos themselves put into the Gospels that point to them. Now, here's what I was talking about, the name of Satan. For those Christians and Muslims that are worried about Satan, we'll put your mind at ease. The name and concept of Satan, the devil, Lucifer, etc., was created by Arius Calpurnius Piso. Now, that is not to say, like I said, there are malignant entities, right? But this particular creation here, this right here, was created by them. What's interesting is he also played the part in the story, right? And that's what, because he played Jesus, but he also played Satan, right? And so this is where what I was speaking about earlier, where you hear people say Jesus is Satan. What they're saying, Piso created them both, and Jesus is Satan, Satan is Jesus, and they all are Piso, right? Hail Piso, right? Or all praise to Piso, but they change it to hail Satan or all hail Jesus or praise Jesus. But they all of it, his alter egos, these are his creations, his characters. He had such a big head, right? Okay, so click on, if you were looking at that, click on that link that said explanation of Satan. Let me check my time real quick, y'all. If y'all gotta go. This is recorded, people. Okay. All right. Let me go back here. Okay. So just in case, for some reason, your link not working right there for where it pops up Satan, I'll post this link too. I'll post it here on Facebook. And so you can read along with me or go back and read it later. You'll have it. Okay, let me put it over here. Okay. And after this, we're going to be done, y'all. All right. This right here, and you will see this picture. Look, Marjorie, move to it. And it's the same, but the face is just kind of looking forward there. This one's kind of looking down. This is the same. Remember I told you about that dream that I had. So when I started coming across all of this, and this picture is one that's found up here. And this is a different author here that wrote this than the guy here that wrote, did all the research here, right? Okay. So he just has a different picture of Josephus' head right here. Okay, so you see a Roman marble statue of Arius C. Piso labeled as Josephus. Then it says, get a good look at your God, the great deceiver. Is this the man that has fooled all the nations? Who created the name and concept of Satan? The concept of an evil force in the universe separate from Yahuwah is foreign to the Jewish religion. Yes, baby. Okay, hold on one second. I'm almost done, Pooh. This is a short paragraph, y'all. We're going to have to end this after this, and we'll start the actual book with all the other references tomorrow. Okay. The concept of an evil force in a universe separate from Yahuwah is foreign to the Jewish religion. It is clearly expressed in the Torah as well as in 1 Samuel that there is only Yah. right? And we've been talking about this since we've been talking about this from the beginning. There is only one God, or one Yah. Yahuwah said, I am Echad. I am one, right? I create good and evil. Okay, he knew this. It is clearly expressed in the Torah as well as in 1 Samuel that there is only Yah. Here he says God, but I'm making Yahuwah's name known. But that there is only Yah. He does good as well as bad acts. So where did the concept and name of Satan first appear, and in what books? This is how it came about. Piso saw himself as a new lawgiver and philosopher. After all, he thought he was the greatest writer in the world. He just created the beginnings of his new religion, Christianity, which he hoped to give new moral laws to the Roman Empire. He could not model his identity after Plato, Homer, or Societies because it would become too obvious. So he borrowed the identity of Minos, who was the king of Crete, as presented in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. Minos fit well because Minos and Piso both totaled 19 in Greek small numbering. The following explanation is a little involved, but you will see how Piso laces these Greek characters into his works and also points to himself as the author. Next section is Piso's pen names. The following names have important relevance in understanding Piso and how he wrote. Piso wrote under many pen names, including Flavius Josephus, which totaled 66 in Greek small numbering, Plutarch, and Manetho. He chose these pen names deliberately. He chose Josephus because of many reasons. The most important was that he had figured out what Joseph had done when he was the prime minister of Egypt. He had embezzled 2/3 of the money he collected for the sale of the grain during the 7 years of famine. You can find that in Genesis chapter 47, verses 14 through 20. Piso wanted to find this hidden treasure so he could create an army to take over Rome itself. That was the real prize. He was looking for the things that Joseph had stored up, right? He created the name Manetho for the following reasons. The traditional translation for the word Manetho is truth of Thoth. Thoth was the Egyptian god who is credited for the invention of Egyptian writing as well as other cultural elements. In Roman lore, Romulus, one of the founders of Rome, was born the 21st day of the month, Thoth. But the best reason Piso creates this name is because it is a combination of two Greek names or words that best describes how he sees himself. The first word being Minos, who was the Greek lawgiver from the island of Crete. Piso saw himself as being the new Minos. The second Greek word is theos, which means God or deity. When combined, the two words mean the god Minos, or Minos is God, which is, of course, is himself. He chose Manetho because of all three root meanings. He saw himself as the greatest writer that ever lived. He, like Romulus, was going to create a new Rome based on his literary fraud. And of course, in his religious writings, he played the parts of God and Satan. Therefore, the name Manetho was most appropriate. Piso creates the name Plutarch because, again, it is the combination of two Greek words. The Greek god for earthly wealth was Pluto, and the Greek word Archon, Archon, means noblemen or masters. So together, the name meant the master god Pluto. Piso was, in fact, a very rich and powerful Roman aristocrat with real power, position, and a real love for money. Yes. Scratch your neck. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay, so last three little sections. The next section is Piso's insertion of the word Satan into the Old Testament books he wrote. Now, this might shake some of you, right? As we learn truth, we just gotta keep growing, right? We gotta separate the truth from the error. We need to test things out. We need to see them through, right? We walk through this together. We all growing together, y'all, right? So if y'all find out some stuff I don't know, share it with a sister. And y'all know I'm sharing with y'all everything I come across, right? Okay. Piso wrote the following books in the Old Testament and forced the Jews to do the Hebrew translation and put them into the collection of books today we call the Old Testament. So remember before, we kind of talked about some things. They said, oh, this was originally in Hebrew. No, it wasn't. They created a book and then they put it in Hebrew and added it to the books, right? Okay, so it might shake some people because it shook the crap out of me, right? They are. And I remember having this conversation with my uncle some time ago, even about some of the things that he said were possibly added to the book of Isaiah, right? He said, I'm not too sure. He said, but I've been looking at some of this stuff. He said, I don't know. He said, I'm still kind of looking at it. I was like, well, I don't know. Okay, so. All right, Piso wrote the following books in the Old Testament and forced the Jews to do Hebrew translations and put them into the collection of books we call today the Old Testament. They are chapters 40 through 66 of Isaiah, Zechariah, Job, Ruth, Jonas, Daniel, First Chronicles, and Ecclesiastes. He inserted the name Satan in Zechariah 3 times. Hello? Hello? Girl, look, don't answer the phone while I'm reading. Because you know somebody calling for me. Hang it up. And it was I don't know, they hung up. I'm sorry, y'all. He inserted the name Satan in Zechariah 3 times, in Job 14 times, and First Chronicles 1 time. The insertions of Satan in these 3 books help identify which books Piso had written. As a final note, the reason he has Isaiah total 66 is because Flavius Josephus total 66 in Greek small numbering. So in essence, he puts his signature on the work. The lineage of Minos and his importance. Understanding why Piso modeled one of his fictional identities after the Greek lawgiver Minos helps you to unravel why Piso created the name and concept of Satan. The character Minos is mentioned first by Homer in his writings and later by many other Greek and Roman writers. Minos was the ruler and great lawgiver of the island of Crete. He was a historical personage. His family tree is as follows. His grandfather is known in Greek literature as Saturn. His father, Jove or Hove, Jove. His father is Jove or Jove. I really think it's Jove, y'all. And I'm going to tell you why, because Jove translates is actually Job, as he explains later, okay? His father is Jove, but also referred to as Jupiter. Homer also refers to him as King of Kings 3 times. This phrase is an important term in the New Testament because Jesus in Revelation chapter 17:14 and Revelation chapter 19:16, also in 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 16, that's neat, is referred to as King of Kings. Jove has 3 sons, Minos, Apollo, and Hercules, and 2 daughters, Hebe and Minerva. Minos' sons was Deucalion, a.k.a. Laertes, Laertes, and his son was Ulysses, a.k.a. Aethon, Aethon. Okay, the name Jove, Jove. Jove is an interesting name because in Hebrew, the V is just like the letter B, except the B has a dot in the middle of it. So the name Jove could be pronounced as Job, which is the title of one of the books Piso wrote, namely Job. The key character is Minos because found in Homer's Odyssey is the following story. Then I saw Minos, son of Jove, with his golden scepter in his hand, sitting in judgment on the dead. And the ghosts were gathered, sitting and standing. Bella, wait. And the ghosts were gathered, sitting and standing round about him in the spacious house of Hades. And in the square parentheses, he has hell, or brackets. to learn his sentences upon them. So they were standing there around this throne, waiting for judgment. To learn his sentences upon them. Hades is the Greek name for hell. Found in the Iliad is a line saying that Jove sends people into hell or Hades. The son of Saturn sent a portent of evil sound about their hosts, and the few fell red with blood, for he was about to send many a brave man hurrying down to Hades. That means his son Minos is judging those in hell. Plato in Gorgias repeats the legend, but a longer version. So he's about to repeat the same little story we just heard. One of his sons, when they died, they went to this place called Hades or hell, but instead of him being tortured down there, he was the one who was handing out sentences for the people who came, i.e. Satan is the ruler of hell or whatever, and he decided what happened to you when you come down, because that's his realm in the Christian lore. This sounds a whole heck of a lot like this stuff that's been around way before Christianity was invented. They're pulling stories and themes from different tales and stuff, right? Listen, here is a longer version of this story, and I think this is the end. Yeah, after this is the conclusion. Okay. Hold on. Plato in Gorgias repeats the legend, but a longer version, and here it is. I, Job, will deprive men of the foreknowledge of death, which they possess at present. This power which they have, Prometheus has already received my orders to take from them. In the second place, they shall be entirely stripped before they are judged. For they shall be judged when they are dead, and the judge too shall be naked. That is to say, dead. He with his naked soul shall pierce into the other naked souls, and they shall die suddenly and be deprived of all their kindred, and leave their brave attire strewn upon the earth. Conducted in this manner, the judgment will be just. I knew all about the matter before any of you, and therefore I have made my sons judges from Asia, Minos, and Radamanthus, and one from Europe, Achis. And these, when they are dead, shall give judgment in the meadow at the parting of the ways, whence the two roads lead, one to the island of the blessed, and in brackets, haven or heaven, right? And the other to Tartarus, which will be considered hell, right? Okay. Radamanthus shall judge those who come from Asia, and Achis those who come from Europe, and to Minos I shall give the primacy, and he shall hold a court of appeal in case either of the two others are in any doubt. Then the judgment respecting the last journey of men will be as just as possible. Radamanthus sends to the islands of the blessed. Achis does the same, and they both have scepters and judge. But Minos alone has the golden scepter and is seated looking on, as Audius in Homer declares that he saw him holding a scepter of gold and giving laws to the dead. Now I, Calicus, am persuaded of the truth of these things, and I consider how I shall present my soul whole and undefiled before the judge in that day. It sounds kind of familiar, don't it? Don't it? New Testament readers. I'm just saying. Sheesh. Piso brags about what he did by repeating the same story in his own writing under the pen name Plutarch. Consolation to Apollonius by writing. Deliberating on this with myself before I receive your advice, I, Jove, have constituted my sons judges. Minos, pause that. Look alive. Let's see some smiles on your face. Keep that pause till I'm done. I'm almost done. Give me a few minutes. I, Jove, have constituted my sons judges, Minos and Radamanthus from Asia, and Achis from Europe. Is he repeating the same stuff? We done just heard the story twice, coming from two different people, right? Now he also is taking that same story.
Mom.
Hold on, Tootie. These,
And you do
therefore,
my smoothie.
after they have departed
Mom.
this life. Wait a
Mom.
minute, Bella.
Mom, you do my smoothie. I'll let you up here and up there.
Okay. These, therefore,
That's
after
my
they
choice.
have departed this life, shall assume either character and exercise it in the field and in the road where two ways divide themselves, the one leading to the fortunate islands, i.e., heaven, and the other to the deep abyss, Hades or hell. So Radamanthus shall judge the Asians, and Achis the Europeans. But to Minos I will grant the authority of final appeal, that if anything hath escaped the notice of the others, it shall be subject to his cognizance as to the last resort of a supreme judge, that so it may be rightly decided what journey everyone ought to take. Right? You got the final authority to send this soul to heaven or to hell, right? Okay. Hold on. But to Minos I will grant the authority of final appeal, that if anything hath escaped the notice of the others, it shall be subjected to his cognizance as to the last resort of a supreme judge, that so it may be rightly decided what journey everyone ought to take. These are the things, calicles, which I have heard and think to be true, and I draw this rational inference from them, that death, in my opinion, is nothing else but the separation of two things nearly united, which are soul and body. And here's the conclusion. Piso had 3 surviving sons. The eldest was Julius, then Fabius Justus, and the youngest was Proculus. When Julius wrote Revelation in 136 CE, he deliberately has the 2 chapters and verses He deliberately has the 2 chapters and verse he inserts the phrase King of Kings, which totaled 66, which was his father Piso. Piso is 7. The letters in Piso is 17 plus 14 plus 19 plus 16 equals 66, or King of Kings. Bella, pause that or turn it down. In the Quran, remember, they wrote the Quran too. Everybody that think that's such a holy book, more holy than the Christian Bible that the Christians got, and y'all fighting one another. Everybody looking like idiots, right? Listen. In the Quran, there are 19 angels guarding the gates of hell. They use this number because it expresses Piso. Piso in Greek small numbering totals 19. When Muslims circle a stone pillar in Mecca and throw stones at it, they are told they are throwing stones at Satan, but really they're throwing stones at Piso. Piso got the name Satan from the father of Jove, who was Saturn. In other words, Saturn becomes Satan. Minos plays the part of Satan because in Christian literature, we're told that Satan sits in hell judging the sinners, and since I have shown you that Minos was the one who sat in Hades judging evil men, that means the fictional character Satan is also Minos. Also, since Piso sees himself as a new Minos, that means Piso... Hold on. Yeah, okay. Since Piso sees himself as the new Minos, that means Pisos is also playing the part of Satan. Piso created the fictional character Jesus. The inescapable conclusion we come to is that Satan uses the fictional character Jesus to deceive man and lead them to hell or Hades, where they will be judged by Piso himself. That gives you an idea of how big his ego was. Bruh, how about the Quran? The Quran mentions Satan no less than 76 times. A divinely inspired holy book cannot have a fictional character mentioned 76 times. You are not taught that there were 2 religious men, one a Jewish rabbi from Yemen and a Christian monk, who were kidnapped. You are not taught that there were 2 religious men, one a Jewish rabbi from Yemen and a Christian monk, who were kidnapped by the Quraysh family about 30 years after Muhammad died, and they were forced to write the Quran. It took the Muslim leadership about 150 years to discover all the deliberate areas the two men inserted into the Quran. They include 10 of Piso's fictional characters. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. Let's just let that soak in. Go back and read. Pull up some of this stuff and check into all these things. Make sure we have a solid foundation and we know what Yahuwah has said, right? We verify everything against what Yahuwah has said, right? And remember, everything can be tested. Everything can be tested, and truth can be uncovered, right? It's time for Yahuwah's people to wake up from the strong delusion. All right, y'all. So with that being said, it is Tuesday, August the 31st, 2021, day 247 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, and of the 3-year consecutive day count, day 916. Y'all, we read Hosea 7, 8, and 9, and then we read the rest of the book, the true authorship of the New Testament, and we just finished reading this portion that was missing. Bella. Okay, I just said your name, Bella.
No,
all right.
Mom.
All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and do this blessing. We'll start in Caesar's Messiah tomorrow. The blessing is found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. Remember, the first 21 verses is the Nazarite vow. Man or woman can take it. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahuwah will kneel before us presenting gifts. Hold on. You need to wipe your face for real. Yahuwah will kneel before us presenting gifts and will guard us with a hedge of protection.
You do this?
Hold on. And will guard us with a hedge of protection. Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us. Bella, stop. You keep on. You won't end it today. So stop it. I'm sorry. Yahuwah will kneel before us presenting gifts and will guard us with a hedge of protection. Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us, bringing order, and he will provide us with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yahuwah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon us, and he will set in place all we need to be whole and complete. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. Sorry for all the noise today. Okay, all right. Yeah, we still kind of, all right. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and end this. I'll share all these references again for y'all. She wiped her nose, but she still didn't get it too good. So go ahead. Look, girl, they don't want to see all that. Go ahead and end the video. All right, beautiful people, I love y'all. I see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hit finish, girl. No, right here in Facebook. All right, y'all. Sorry for